first guest out. Yes, let's get our first guest out. He's a true blue through and through, and he's a big reason why a number of Chelsea Academy graduates are smashing it at the World Cup. Yeah. Chelsea legend, former Blues coach.
Brilliant.
It's Jody Morris.
He smells absolutely sensational.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'm disappointed you've taken the jacket off, mate, because that outfit was beautiful.
Yeah, but then the coat won't work when you go outside.
Yeah.
You know, your mum told you that.
It's about layering, isn't it?
Yeah.
He wears coats everywhere.
Anyway. No, don't knock a coat. Good to see you, mate.
And you, mate?
How are you?
Not too bad.
Little injury, little calf tweak?
Well, yeah.
How'd you do it?
Continuously. Any time I go for a run of late, it seems to go. So it's just getting old, and probably the excess weight as well.
Oh, come on.
It's a bit of stress on the calf.
Disservice there.
Go on, John boy.
What have you been up to then, mate? What's going on?
Not too much, to be fair. Trying to kind of get back into football.
Itching to get back in?
Yeah, I am. Close to a couple of jobs.
Really?
Not quite got over the line, but... yeah, watching a lot of football of late and trying to get back in.
Have you had enough of now? You know, like people have a break. Like Daichi was on, and he was kind of enjoying his break because he was going to gigs and catching up with friends and stuff like that. Have you done that now?
Yeah, I mean, I think my break's been a little bit longer than Daichi's, to be fair. Yeah, no, I did. I was similar, to be fair. When I retired, I was probably working non-stop for about 9 years or so in the coaching. So. I really enjoyed the break initially. That break's been a little bit too long now, so yeah, I do want to get back in, but obviously certain things need to be right for me to get back in.
Of course. World Cup, you enjoying it?
I am. It's been very unpredictable.
Yeah.
But I thought it was going to be like that, to be fair. Before it even started, when people were asking me who I thought were favourites and were going to win and stuff like that, I honestly couldn't tell you. I felt 4 or 5 teams have got a great chance. And
go on,
I think
styles of play. Who'd you fancy? Who'd you like to look of?
I think it could be France, Spain, England.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They're the kind of ones that I'm looking at. And then you go Argentina, Brazil. You can never look past them. I think it's those that are the ones that got a chance.
We were talking about this the other day, and I was talking about you last week. We were talking about the England-USA game, and I was going... England did this, England did that, and you went, well, that was because USA had done this and that.
So good.
But what I realised is that you, as a professional footballer, and yourself as a professional footballer and coach, you're watching a different game to I am, because I'm watching it from an England fan's perspective, whereas you said, I'm watching it and they're all kind of silhouettes, and you're watching. You take yourself away, and you're watching like the whole thing. And can you, when you're watching a game, are you critiquing it from a coaching standpoint?
Mostly, I think, because I kind of just watch football like that anyway. Not always from a coaching standpoint, because that gets a little bit draining, to be honest. And obviously, I'm a fan as well, so it's hard to get that balance of when you're watching England and how they play. But yeah, I mean, I do see the game how I see it, and it tends to differ quite a lot.
Have you spotted any trends in styles of play different that's caught your eye?
Not really. I mean, to be honest, I actually think apart from Spain, who I think have dominated every game, I know they lost the last game. Apart from Spain, I don't think all the top teams that everyone are considering to be great, I don't think that they've been at their best. I mean, even if you look at England, for instance, and you go, I think the best we've played was the first game. But yet, instantly, people say, oh, well, it doesn't count because it's Iran. And then we play poor against USA, and then everyone's raving about us after we play against Wales. And I'm like, I was so disappointed with the first half against Wales. So disappointed because Wales, let's get it right, were the worst team in our group. And I felt they didn't offer much, and we didn't offer much being the better team in the first half. And then once we beat them 3-0, it's like, oh, well, now we're going to win it, and he needs to play and he needs to play. And I'm like, I am a sceptic as it is anyway, but I looked at the Wales game and thought, well, do you know what? I think the keeper should have saved 2 of them, and there was a mistake for the second. So you need to be careful about getting carried away, as well as not going completely the opposite when we draw.
Does that come from being a coach, though? Is that your
I don't know. It's probably
it's about high standards, isn't it?
I think it's probably a bit of both, to be honest. it's not just the fact that I've been a coach. I mean, I've always seen football the way I want to view it and how I believe, like most of us, what I see is gospel.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
But at the same time, as I said, I also have been one of those that have been shouting that people need to get off Gareth's back. The minute, I mean, you look at the way people want to jump on Gareth, and it's like, well, no one wants to talk about that at half-time, that he's told them that they need to be more progressive, need to pass forward, need to be braver. Yeah. And then, OK, we played better in the second half and they've done that, but everyone's like, it's only because he made these changes, like, to the starting line-up and stuff like that. I mean, you can't win, I don't think, because there's so many different opinions in football.
You're on an idea enough having that job. Let's have it right.
Oh, yeah, it's difficult.
Is there anyone in particular, player-wise, who's in for England that's impressed you?
For England, I mean, I actually said before the World Cup that I was really looking forward to him play, and for me, he hasn't disappointed at all, is Jude Bellingham. He's obviously one that I think even in the game where Gareth took him off quite early, I think he just does things that is not only good for the moment and at present, where you're saying that the kid's got everything, but you actually, it's scary when you think that he's 19.
As a coach, what's he got, Joe? What stands out to you?
For me, he's got everything. I think he plays the game, first and foremost, he's technically gifted. You can see he can handle the ball. Yeah. You see his maturity in the way he plays, as far as you look at the size of him in midfield, and you see the way that he can move, his energy that he brings to the team, the passes that he sees. But I think his all-round game is so polished for someone so young that, and then when you meet him or when you've come across him, when you see his interviews, and you think the lad's got such a great head on his shoulders at such a young age, and he's physically got more to come as well.
That's 19, isn't it?
Oh no, absolutely. I think he could do what he wants in football. To be
Do you think we'll see a similar starting lineup tomorrow?
Good question.
I actually don't. Again, which one of the things that I really like about Gareth and admire is that he doesn't fold to outside noise or pressure. I think he does what he thinks best for the team, the way he wants to manage. And in saying that, I couldn't tell you. I could easily see him going to a 3 because he thinks maybe the opposition is better and it's now knockout. But again, you could.
What do you think he needs to go to?
I honestly think I would like to play a 4 just because I think we've got too many good attacking players to lose one of them to then play with wing backs. So I would like to see us play how we've been playing as a 4. But when you talk about what we've got from an attacking aspect, you can take your pick.
Rashford keep his place?
I don't know. I mean,
he's mixed it up there, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is, would he keep his place if I was choosing the team? I'm not sure.
Here's one for you as well. You know, when you're away with a group, do you think he's watching training heavily and going off with a bit of training as well? Because we don't see that, do we? I
think certain managers are different. You get some that rely heavily on what they see in training and can be influenced, and certain managers they kind of refer to games or previous experiences. And I don't know. He might purely be influenced by what he had in his mind before the Wales game. He might be resting players going, you know what it's like, if you're at a top team and you're playing against a lower league team and you give people minutes in a certain cup competition, he might have been viewing it like that, saying we need to get some minutes into the squad and build and get everyone on board, and he might just go back to what he feels was the strongest at the beginning.
That's it. He's not. The thing is, he's not taking players out of the side because they're not playing well, is he? He's just giving them a little bit of breather. So it's like it's not like he's sort of dropping players.
No.
I think whatever he goes with, there'll be some that are absolutely over the moon, and there'll be some that are fuming, like anything. And like you said, Jim, he can't win. But at the moment, I think he's doing great.
And you tip us to beat Senegal, yeah?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And who's going to win the whole thing?
Well, I want to say it's us.
That's right. That's the right answer.